Hello and welcome to today's video. So this time we're going to be taking a look at the most valuable vintage Virgin New Adventure Doctor Who novels. Now, it's amazing to think that some of these are over 30 years old now, so they have crept up in value, as you might expect, and some of these are eye-wateringly expensive. However, not all of them, but some of them are, and I'm going to show you which ones are the most expensive and are going to hit your wallet the worst. So sit back, relax, and let's get to it. Okay then, so we start off with the number 10 slot, and it's this one, Timewyrm Genesys by John Peel. Now, the thing to remember with the books that we're going to be looking at today is that the prices quoted are for books that are in exceptional fine condition, basically unread, no creases on the spines. They need to be as near to perfect as when they were published as possible. Now, these are prices for the regular editions that you would buy in the book stands, unsigned copies, not promotional or promo copies. This is the bog standard editions. And in this number 10 slot here is Timewyrm Genesys, which is a bit of an odd choice, because you'd think that being the first one to launch the series, it would have had quite a large print run. But print runs, sadly, at the moment, I just don't know. However, I believe that the range got scarcer as it went along, which is why a lot of the tail end ones in the main run here are actually quite scarce. But we've seen more than one copy of this one sell recently for the £30 to £35 mark. So amazingly, in number 10 is this one, Timewyrm Genesys. Number 9 then is Bad Therapy by Matthew Jones. Superb cover on this one. So again, these are exceptional copies. They've come from a friend of mine called George, who bought these all as they were published and has kept them in great condition, and they've really aged very well. We noticed on some of the copies that there's a tiny little bit of like page edge browning, where after 30 years the paper has just a little bit started to age, but as I've said before, I do put this down to the books being printed on recycled paper in a lot of cases. However, this one here in the number 9 slot, £40 for a copy of that one. Number 8 is the Also People, a Ben Aaronovitch title. You'll recognise him from the classic series, of course. Quite a big, thick one, this one. It's one of the larger New Adventure novels. 1995 this one was published. And copies of this one are selling online for about £45. That is the actual sale price for these books nowadays. Now, number 7 was a bit of a tie. So I've got 3 books that were all around the same sort of price here. So we've got Godengine, Damaged Goods, and Christmas on a Rational Planet. So we'll look at these one at a time. This is by Lawrence Miles. First from 1996. This one, of course, Russell T Davies's first professional introduction to the world of Doctor Who, I guess, was in this one. This is where he got one of his early breaks. So you can just sort of understand why that one's sought after. And this one, I think, is just scarce, so that's Ice Warrior's title. But all 3 of these sell for around the £50 a pop mark, which is no mean feat, £50 each. Quite a few pounds, eh? So they're sort of joint 7th in the top 10 rarest New Adventure books. Then we've got a tie in the number 6 slot. So 2 very good books here. Number 50, which was by Paul Cornell. That was the 50th adventure. Features a lot of characters who'd not appeared in the New Adventures before. And they've got their little gold embossing on the front cover there. That was in 1996, and this one here, which is just superb. Great jacket on this one as well, with the Nazis, obviously Second World War based, March 1941. Good stuff. So these are 6 equal in the rankings, and these 2 go for an astonishing £60 each in really nice, fine, unread condition, which is what these ones are. In the number 5 slot then is this one, Dead Romance. So this is a New Adventure one. It's not got the Doctor Who logo on it, it's just got NA. It's still published by Virgin, the same as the other ones here. Lawrence Miles, Great cover on that one again. Real sci-fi at its highest here. Yeah, cover painting David Wyatt. I like the way that they do put that on at the end. And this is a later run one because this is from 1999. So definitely a scarcer one towards the end of the run. And this one goes for £70. £70 for that one. In the number 4 slot then is this one, So Vile a Sin. And I think this one's one of the ones that's been known to be an expensive one for quite some time. It's usually one of the ones that's missing in collections. Ben Aaronovitch and Kate Orman. And there you are, lovely, pristine, unbroken spine on this copy here. A first from 1997. And this one is the first in 3 figures. It's £130 is the average price for this one, in this really top shape condition. You will find them slightly cheaper than that, sort of the £80–90 mark, but they've usually been red, so they're in sort of VG. But in fine unread, 130 for that one. This next one here is another one in the number 3 slot, also, you know, a known one to be expensive. It was the only one in the New Adventures range to feature Paul McGann as the 8th Doctor. Ice Warriors again, very nice, nice book. This one, 1997, scarce. This is a beautiful copy of it, absolutely pristine in every way. And amazingly, a copy like that sold recently online for £180. Quite incredible, eh? Now we're into the number 2 slot, and I would expect quite a few people would have thought this was number 1, but in actual fact it's not. So it's Lungbarrow, Marc Platt. Once again, it was in the New Adventures series rather than with the Doctor Who New Adventures series. It was that sort of transitional period, first from 1997. Very scarce, this one. I mean, I remember George and I selling this one in the shop, and we had a few copies of it, but by then the line certainly wasn't exactly flying off the shelf, but it was, you know, it was part of the series and one that people were definitely looking for. Perhaps not the greatest cover, it's not very detailed, you know, it does seem a little bit you know, half-hearted compared to some of the other ones which were fantastic. Fred Gambino is the cover artist there. But this particular one then, in absolutely top condition, a copy sold recently for £225. I saw other slightly lesser copies sell for £200 and £185. However, there were several copies around the £150 mark. Still an extremely expensive paperback. And those £150 ones were very much VG red copies, but people, you know, didn't want to fork out for the big money copies. To be honest, the fine condition copies just aren't online. They don't exist. So ones in this condition will command an absolute premium. And look at this one, it is perfection in every way. So I'm sure that's one to keep your eyes peeled for. Now in the coveted number 1 slot then is this one. It's Deadfall by Gary Russell. Once again, a tail end New Adventures title. Beautiful cover on it. Gary Russell is a great writer, written a lot of Doctor Who stuff over the years, right back to the days of fanzines in the 1980s. A cover painting by John Sullivan, it says here, and this was published in 1997. Now, whether this is an anomaly or not, I'm honestly not sure, but I've seen 2 copies sell, and they were both very similar. The top condition copy, like this, in an absolutely perfect fine condition, went for £260, if you can believe it, and the slightly lesser one went for £220. So this is the top one. Keep your eyes peeled for this because it's an absolute rarity, and it should be your number 1 want with regards to Doctor Who New Adventures. So there you go. I hope that's given you some information and given you a few books to keep your eyes peeled for when you're out and about in the bookshops. If you have already got these in your collection, I'm sure you're going to want to bag up your copies and keep them in as good a condition as possible. Now don't forget, there's a brand new book from David J. Howe celebrating 30 years of this line coming up very soon as I film this towards the end of 2021, and that's going to have a lot more detail in it about print runs and things like that, so definitely do track a copy of that down. I'll put a link to it in the description down below. Thanks very much for watching today, and I'll look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye.